Okay, I wasn't gonna make any more videos, but hear that faggot up there? Fuck you, motherfucker. So, you can't see him because he's just on the other side of the clouds because there's real rain coming. And every time there's real rain coming, the planes fly continuously. Let's see, let me think here now. In the past hour, there's been about 6 jets fly over low, but that plane is far lower than the jets that flew over. These aren't leaving trails of any kind. They just make, my ears ring, and they seem to irritate the insects that are nesting in different places. And my cat meows at me sometimes a little extra as that fucker flies over. And my ears ring. Well, I shouldn't say my ears. I hear a ringing sound like my ears are ringing inside my head every time that plane flies over. I noticed it about 3 years ago, but I really started paying real close attention in the last 6 months. And I can predict the arrival of that plane with 100% accuracy because my head rings like tinnitus a full minute before you can audibly hear the plane. So we've been going for about a minute now or so. I don't know if they're on a roll right now or what. There's no airport near me. Their paths tend to be east and west, and the airport is to the south of us, and it runs east and west. So yeah, it's not anybody taking off or landing. They have to fly up to Vancouver and then get down at this low elevation and then fly across the city, right over all these residential areas, really low, over and over again, every few minutes. Like my bathtub, I restored it between bouts of chemtrails and being microwaved. I think it came out pretty good. If I wasn't being poisoned and microwaved while I was trying to do the resto, it might even be nicer. One of its best features, I think, is how I dealt with the edge where the porcelain and the cast iron meet. I put a black enamel stripe, and that was shiny too. That way there'd be no rust coming through on the seam, and because you can't paint right to the porcelain and have an uneven edge. So the black covers up the uneven edge and where I had to clean it up on the porcelain edge. It's a little dusty inside right now, but for sale. Like anybody's buying anything. It's not on a credit card from Chase. Chase, what matters, America? You keep chasing that money while we spray you with shit. You're smart. Alright, so I'm going to set the camera down in the tub looking up at the sky. So this will probably be a boring video. But I think it will pick up the sounds of the planes better. And we'll see. We're going about 3 minutes so far, I think. We'll see if any planes fly over, like in ridiculous numbers. Any weird anomalous crap. How about that, America? We love you, America. Get your free Obamacare. We know you're sick. Here comes the first one. The jet just went over a little bit ago. Here's the microwave jet though, because my ears are ringing. They mix it up too. Sometimes the jets will make my ears ring, sometimes it's the planes. Often it's both. And a lot of times when a jet like this one flies over, the plane will be right behind it. So keep your ears peeled. Ah! Here comes faggot ass Joe Airplane for his, I don't know, let me make an accurate guesstimation. 37th flyover at low elevation since in the last 4 hours or so. Yeah, it's not terribly excessive today, just normally excessive. And in the distance, the next jet is approaching. Nowhere near the airport. That jet's past, starting to get a weird fucking feeling in my ear though. And a ringing in my ears hasn't really stopped, so I'm gonna have to say there's a plane coming. I'm not sure yet though. It's usually a safe guess. That's enough. My ears are ringing quite loudly right at the moment, though. Oh, I hear the bees coming to check me out now. Why not? What's that sound? I don't know, it sounds like a jet. I wonder how long this video's been. I guess it's been about 10 minutes. I don't know how many jets and planes have flown over, because you can't really see them when there's clouds. This isn't chemtrail, it's real clouds. And when there's real clouds, those planes fly almost continuously. Not to mention the tiny flies. The bugs are off the hook this year because, Cat, I'm trying to do a video here. You're just laying there anyway with your wounded butt. The chemtrails have pretty much ran off or killed all of the local native species of small birds. They're gone. Vancouver used to sound like paradise, like Garden of Eden in the summertime, in the spring. Nothing but chirping, tweeting, whistling birds, not caws of crows everywhere. And there was never a pigeon here, ever. And there were lots of seagulls, which there is not now. The hummingbirds are pretty much gone. Grasshoppers disappeared a long time ago. The slugs are all in hiding all the time. I mean, all of these things are gone, but the birds are the big thing. All the little birds that ate the little bugs are gone, and now the little bugs are freaking everywhere. There's not a place you can turn, look, or go that there's not bugs, from large, easily visible ones to very small, tiny ones crawling around, you know. A bundle of wires in the car, you know, I'm leaning down to get something off the floor in the car, and I look to the side on the console area, and there's some wires wrapped in tape, probably like 30, you know, normal, you know, little wires wrapped in tape in a bundle, and they're all doing a twist, and it's taped, and a few of the wires are exposed, and right where it's exposed, there's one strand of wire with one little ant on it, so small that if I wasn't down there, there's no way I would have seen him, and he's walking around one strand of that wire. And the whole bundle's only like this big around. He's walking around one little bitty strand. And I'm like, wow, that's the tiniest thing I could see. I'd need a microscope or a magnifying glass to see something smaller. And you know, on certain days, it's not all the time, but quite often in the last, I don't know, couple of years I started noticing this. There'll be times when it seems like there's a bug in my face continuously. You know, I have my own crazy reasons as to why I think that might be, but other than there's a bug everywhere you turn nowadays, with all the birds that used to eat them being gone. There's these tiny flies, and they're not always there, but sometimes they'll be in the vicinity, and they're so small that you cannot see them if they're more than 3 feet away from you. And they're so small also and transparent that you can't see them if they're within a foot of you, 16 inches even. And that's if you have good eyesight. These tiny little flies. I mean, they're so small they could fly right up to you. They could land on your face, on your whisker. They'll land on one eyebrow. They're so small. They tend to appear when it rains, as if, you know, they can't spray chemtrails when it rains because it washes the stuff out of the air. And I know this because I've watched the chemtrail planes absolutely stop, and there isn't one until the real rain leaves again. But once they start spraying, they get a good dehydrated, you know, little drought going on, and they can perpetuate it because this aluminum oxide dries out the atmosphere and dries out the ground and dries everything out. Dries out your glands, that's why your glands are failing. Dries out your lungs, that's why you have COPD. Dries out your glands, that's why you have low testosterone. Dries out your glands, that's why you have type 2 diabetes. All of these disorders, diseases that are on the rise all of a sudden, and every form of mental disorder. Aluminum oxide is barium and strontium are just a hop and a skip away from mercury and lead. So, you know, if you like eating lead chips and you think the Mad Hatter was cool, you know, get yourself some mercury fillings. Dentists are wonderful, aren't they? Anybody whose logo is a snake going around a pole is a demon. Kaiser Permanente means permanent king. And their logo with the sun rays coming up, apparently, and 3 little dots on some of the sun rays. There's 13 rays coming out of the sun, and there's 3 dots on top, which a circle is a 6. Kaiser Permanente's logo shows man holding dominion over the sun, over God, and the number is 3 men, and they are 6s. 666. That's the Kaiser Permanente sign logo. Fuck Kaiser Permanente. Our entire medical establishment is beholden to the Rockefellers. If you don't get the Rockefeller paper, you can't be a doctor in the United States. We all know how wonderful the Rockefeller family is. Heck, they and the Rothschilds are good buddies, and you know, they employ most of the world, so they gotta be good people. Hi, airplane faggot. Fuck you. Well, the meter says I'm running out of time. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. I guess we might as well let it run out here. Do I have another minute's worth of shit to say? Boy. I wish not, but I probably do. I guess I could do a quick little update on my projects. The Escort's not going yet. Haven't got to the Mercedes yet because Dan painted it yellow. He did the same thing with the Wagoneer. Kind of pissed me off. But, here's my Jeep. This distributor now has points inside of it. That hole is where the fuel injection used to go. It is where the carburetor is going to go. Yes, 97 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo with points and a carburetor. No electronic wizardry to go bad. Lazy cat. Meow. 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 Alright. CenturyLink. Your quest to Xfinity. Whatever. Xfinity.